Good morning. It's 3:12 a.m. I'm on my way to the gym right now. I'm gonna keep this one short today because I don't have a whole lot to say other than life is gonna start getting easier for you when you start becoming obedient to the voice in your head speaking to you. I don't like to use the word testing, but I've tested in the past couple months the fact of if I have a client to call or I've been thinking of somebody. With the client, if I let longer than, I would say now it's down to 2 minutes. If I let longer than 2 minutes elapse between my having the intuition to call that client and discuss whatever it is that needs to be discussed, or even if it's just a follow-up, between the time that I have that notion to call the client and within 2 minutes, if I haven't reacted, that client will reach out to me, in which I will miss my opportunity to be proactive on that and almost come across as if I knew that they were thinking about calling me. With friends and relatives, I'm within a day. If I think about somebody and I don't react, they will call me within 24 hours. And it doesn't matter how far from the past they are. If I think about them, I will get a direct communication from them one way or another. I say all that to say, you have an intuition inside of you that, if listened to, will start unlocking secrets. And why we're resistant to that voice and why we're resistant to that, I don't think it's anything other than the fact that we don't trust it anymore. And I think the longer in life we go with ignoring that voice, the more and more we grow to not trust it, the more and more we put it off as just wishful thinking and not something to be reacted on. I was talking to my mentor yesterday, and he had sent me something from Earl Nightingale, and I don't know, maybe he wasn't aware that I had been probably listening to Earl Nightingale because my coach was a direct student of Earl Nightingale. So I was being coached under the tutelage of somebody who had been coached by him. So, but he started talking about he wasn't sure because he had never put into effect the principles of the 30-day rule, which is if you put something, if you think about something, if you contemplate it, if you write it down, if you visualize it, if you repeat it over a course of 30 days, it will become a habit. I also know that to be true. I know that there's absolutely no limitations on you besides the ones you put on yourself. And a lot of that is external forces and factors, like how you were raised, your friends, your family, and not wanting to feel like you're outside. Sometimes you're going to have to be comfortable with being alone and knowing that God at the end of it is working everything in the favor of you. And you got to be okay with that faith that everything will come back full circle. But it all starts with listening to that voice and being very obedient to it. Not lying to you. You can waste a lot of time on this earth doing what you think is right. Or you can make a lot of huge steps and strides by really honing in on that voice and trusting that it's right. And stop comparing yourself. You're not like anybody else. And as great as I may be, I'm great in my own likeness. You have a greatness that doesn't outshine mine. You have a greatness that is different than mine. And if you live this whole life and fail to listen to that greatness, you would have lived your life in vain, because there's so much more to offer than just what's on the surface. The voice inside of me spoke out and told me to reach out to my dad. I think I was going to call him, but he doesn't answer the phone for me. So I messaged him, because he normally doesn't answer those either. And I just said, I love you, Dad. He didn't respond. But that's okay, because I was being obedient to what I felt. Because I guess a part of me inside feels like I'm not going to have too many more opportunities to say that. So be obedient.